What's good? It's the BLONGshow. Glad to see y'all again. No, I ain't posted in a while, but I felt like this was an important one that we could get to. Lions 2024 won 2 games in the playoffs, something that ain't been done since 1957. You know, that's a big deal. And, you know, some people criticize them for the way they lost and the reasons that they lost. But so what? Them the same reasons that you would criticize them for them winning. But I ain't here to get into all that. I'm in here to take the opportunity to help my people learn a little bit from that game. See, one of the things that happened was when they started off, they had that adrenaline going and they got that big lead in the first half, you know. And I told people, you know, you can start off like that, but eventually you got to make some changes when you got that adrenaline going like that. So, you know, when they came out second half, the body done took a slight break. You know, they might have did some yelling in the locker room and things like that, but still not the same. And when you keep that adrenaline going that long, your body not made for that adrenaline to go that long. You know, when they first come out, they call it that fight or flight syndrome. You know, your sympathetic, what do they call it? Well, I forgot exactly what they call it, but sympathetic and parasympathetic. So that sympathetic system is going. Got your adrenaline going and pumping like that. So, and that's how they got the drop in the ball. Because your body can't take that adrenaline that much. So then you start getting kind of shaky. You start losing it a little bit. And that's the same way that we do in life. We got to think about how long can we go full throttle. In some way, at some point, you got to pace yourself. You got to give yourself time to think. You got to give yourself time to breathe. You got to come up for some air. You can't just keep going and going and going and going and going just because it's hot. You know, slow down. When they take some time to look back and they take a look at that game, that's what they're going to do next time. Watch next season. They'll never jump out like that again. You know, you jump out, you go crazy, and the one that you with, they just as professional as you. They got just as much going on as you. All they got to do is weather the storm. All storms pass. Think about it. We have more good weather than we have bad weather. It's the same way you should live your life every day. Weather the storm. The odds might come out against you, and they might look real crazy. The odds might seem astronomical to you at the time, but all you got to do is be patient, and you can come back and win. Take your time. You know, it's just like the hare and the tortoise. The hare went nuts. The hare thought he had it just gone. He thought it was just his race, but he lost. Why did he lose? Underestimated a formidable opponent. Never underestimate a formidable opponent. They just like you. They wouldn't be there if they wasn't on the same tip that you are. You know, and you have to realize, like, when we live in this life, you have to live this life as you going up against an opponent at all times, all the way from the time that you're born. When you're born, actually even before you're born, because think about it. All of those sperm swim into one egg. One egg. And only one sperm make it, unless you have twins. But 98% of the time, it's one sperm that's getting to that destination. You start off fighting. You start off with opponents, your own siblings. And then think about that. Like, once you in the womb, you still have an opponent. You're going against yourself to survive. You got to figure out how to eat, how to maintain this womb while you're in your mother. And then when you come out, now your systems begin to function. You have that respiratory system kick in. Now your body has to fend for itself. Your skin has to take over. You know, your heart is doing its own thing now. And now all of a sudden you have to eat yourself through your mouth. It's not coming through an umbilical cord anymore. And as the days pass, you continue to develop. You continue to develop opponents. You know, now when you're eating it's that bottle or your mom's breast, you move on and you may have siblings. And you'll go against each other for different things. It doesn't mean that opponent is a bad thing. Opponent just means something that you need to be ahead of. You know, our own day-to-day actions. Once we start going to school, we have all these other students that we have to interact with, all these other children, our teachers even. We got to interact with those teachers, the principal. Those are your opponents. Your parents even become your opponent. Like I said, an opponent is not a bad thing. Opponent is something to push you farther. So respect your opponent. Respect what you need to do in order to either conquer your opponent or make the situation better for yourself when it comes to that opponent. The Lions did an excellent job with that game. They also showed us that failure is okay. You can go in thinking you got this and you're going to win. But when you fail, you fail. That's still part of learning. You still have an opportunity from failure. Failure is okay. Failure helps you grow. Without failure, you don't grow. Without pain, you don't grow. Without hurt, you don't grow. A lot of people look at these things and they look at them and start crying and woe is me and that's bad and that's bold. No, these things are opportunities. Be excited and be blessed that you had an opportunity to be hurt, that you had an opportunity to lose, because those are all opportunities for you to learn and for you to grow as a human being, as an opponent for somebody else, because you also an opponent of others, and you help them people by being their opponent, as long as you're not doing anything evil to them. I just thought I wanted to bring something like that up, because it made a lot of sense to me. I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed his life. And I like sharing opportunities for people to look at these things that we see happening around us all day, every day, and use them as growth opportunities. That's the BLONGshow, young humanitarian style. See you next time.